I think we just really treat people like we would want to be treated. The heart just comes from, we just really care about the outcomes. We're changing people's lives. That's what we believe. If you are working with what's right in front of you and interacting with who's in front of you, you're going to have more impact.
Welcome to The Growth Switch, the podcast where we explore the strategies, struggles, and breakthroughs of bold business leaders. I'm your host, Jules Fox, growth strategist and lead content creator at Aries Media. I'm here to uncover how today's top brands are scaling, overcoming challenges, and unlocking sustainable success. Now, for those of you just tuning in, Aries Media helps grow successful brands with comprehensive hands-on support for sales, business development, and performance marketing. Go ahead and drop growth into the comments if you want to learn how to do that. Now, today we have a very special guest. We have Francy Lucido on the podcast. She's the co-founder and president of Michigan Staffing and Aspen Search Group. She's a mission-driven business leader with over 35 years of experience in staffing, executive search, and leadership coaching. She is fiercely committed to helping people and companies grow with heart, hustle, and purpose. Francy, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, nice to be here.
Nice to have you here. What I'm always curious about is, where did you start? What was your journey to get you from where you began to where you are now in your field?
The whole 35 years?
Pretty much. Yeah. Point by point. We have a few hours. So,
I started out in training and development for a few years, and then I'm in the Metro Detroit market in Michigan. And my father was a manufacturer's rep. And he was representing manufacturing firms to the OEMs and saw the rising use of contract employees, particularly in the technical arena. And I was ready to make a change. And he said, if you want to do this, I'll back you. And there's the desk and the yellow pages and kind of ready, set, go. And that's honestly how we got started. We started on the technical and professional side, direct and contract. And then we decided, once we were in for the long haul, we expanded to administrative placement and then later added light industrial. So we're now a full service organization.
Wow. Yeah. You've built up Michigan Staffing and Aspen Search Group into these award-winning firms. I think you're being very modest about your success over the past 36 years. So what are the core values or habits that you credit for that kind of staying power in the field?
First and foremost, it's relationships. Everything we do is led by that belief that the relationships matter, and that it's not a transactional type of engagement with our clients or with our contractors, that, we're looking at the long haul with the people that, we interact with. So that has been what I think has made the difference and has given us the staying power for this many years.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it really is a testament to your success. A lot of people with new companies that they've just started experience the sudden burst, but will it last? Especially as long as you guys have lasted. I think a part of that is the hustle and heart that you talk a lot about. So how do you bring that to life across hundreds of placements and client relationships?
Well, being a small business, being an entrepreneur, being family owned, we really look at our clients as an extension of ourselves, as well as us an extension of them. So we treat their business like it's our own.
Yeah.
So that gives I think an added level of investment to making sure that we're doing everything that we can in terms of being responsive, sense of urgency, proactive, solving problems, really being in the trenches, high touch, to make sure that our customer is taken care of, beginning to end, and then after that. So I always say that, our industry is half business, half social work. So, there's a lot of emotional investment in the work that we do, especially on the contractor side. And so I think the heart just comes from, we just really care about the outcomes. We're changing people's lives. That's what we believe. We're changing the productivity for a company, and we're giving a life opportunity or a temporary opportunity to someone who wants a position or a career.
And I think that that's so ethical and so deeply caring, getting into this to support the people. But I think there's people on all sides of the equation. And in that, I mean that you're also supporting the companies with more engaged workers who are more like desire to be there, desire to stay there.
Yeah.
And also internally, I think a lot of leaders these days are struggling with building a company culture and retention. And some of the employees, in fact, many of the employees have stayed with your company for 20 plus years, which
Hmm.
is a huge role modeling aspect of like,
Hmm.
can we build it for you? Yeah, look what we're doing internally. So
Hmm.
why don't you get more into that? How do you build that culture where people actually want to stick with your company?
Well, you brought up values in the beginning, and I named one of them, but we've stayed as true as we can be to our values consistently over time. They're not changing all the time. I mean, certainly, we evolve, but we hire around our values. We check ourselves around our values. That messaging is runs throughout everything that we do. And I think we just really treat people like we would want to be treated, and invest in, again, the relationship, looking at from, the long view. And I think that's made it really almost more of a partnership with our team.
Mhm.
It's certainly, there are employees, but we kind of have a servant leadership mentality. And I think that it's given a lot of, I think, context to why our team members stay. And we're
Yeah.
family owned. So, some people, there's different views on, do you call a business, yeah, the team, your family, but we believe that, we want to treat them as much as family as we can.
Yeah, and when they literally are your family, it's so much easier to say, "Yeah, we treat our team like family," because some of
Hmm.
them
Hmm.
literally are family. Yeah. So, you also started, Francy Lucido Coaching.
Hmm.
Um, how does that work complement the staffing business, and what does it
Hmm.
involve?
In terms of complementing the staffing business, I work with individuals who are trying to find their path
Mhm.
and are struggling, and I'm able to facilitate them finding their way, and then that is parlayed into ideally finding them an opportunity or guiding them to what opportunities we may know about, that are available to them. The rest of the work that I do in the coaching is sort of outside of the arena of staffing, and is just, working either in small groups or one-on-one with individual life or the leadership.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one thing to find great people and send them to the companies that you work with, and it's another to actually personally mentor and train them,
Hmm.
and then send those people who are more perhaps work ready because you've been able to work with them personally,
Hmm.
and then send those people who maybe even hire qualified candidates.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you seeing right now in terms of hiring trends in your community?
Well, I mean, the metro Detroit area or southeastern Michigan has really been affected by tariffs most recently. And so a lot of our clients have been somewhat paused or paralyzed in terms of decision making on growth or investment. So, in from our perspective, the market is slowed. There's a large number of layoffs. The hiring is more limited. And, we expect to see that shift, but I think the shift that's happening in the US with the focus on bringing business back, and to what degree that happens, I don't know. It's a process. So it's sort of a restabilizing effort on everyone's part to figure out where the growth will be.
Mhm.
There were EVs, and then after the election, the EVs, investments were kind of no longer or very limited. And that changed plans for so many organizations, large and small.
Now, this may be outside your wheelhouse, but I was actually just reading up yesterday on the rise of machines replacing people and how it doesn't necessarily eliminate jobs because we sometimes create new jobs because those machines are able to automate certain things and make parts cheaper. So, what have you noticed as far as machines replacing people? Is that a serious issue, or is this a question that's outside of what you would be capable of
No, I mean,
answering?
we're seeing it because we do a lot in the manufacturing realm.
Hmm.
So I guess first on the opportunity side, there are more companies working in automation
Yeah.
to build. So there's that. So that creates jobs. On the other side, our clients are bringing in more and more automation. It is eliminating some jobs and it will continue to eliminate jobs for production, assembly, those types of things, logistics, shipping, receiving. We expect that there'll be more jobs that are eliminated. Will it create new opportunities? I think it will, but it's kind of yet to be seen where those opportunities will fall. But you still need, boots on the ground to monitor the quality and the effectiveness of what's happening with the automation. So that part will always, well, will always exist, at least based on the world that we know right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully. Right.
Right? Yeah.
And speaking of the world that we actually live in, beyond the professional work that you're doing, you also serve these at-risk communities. You mentor these young girls through the Giving Girls.
Hmm.
So how does that shape you as a person? How does it shape your leadership philosophy? And
Hmm.
even earlier, you talked about leadership as a form of service.
Hmm. Yeah.
How does that work?
Um, well, I almost feel like it's the reverse, that my work in working with at-risk populations,
Hmm. Hmm.
is like the foundation of my philosophy for everything else that I do. And it's just, where can you invest your time and energy to make a difference most?
Yeah.
And when we always say, making a difference one placement at a time. Certainly we've grown and we've had a lot of success. Um, but I think it was because, outside of the business, you're impacting people individually or in small groups. And we've treated it much the same in our business. It's like if you are working with what's right in front of you and
Yeah.
interacting with who's in front of you, you're going to have more impact. So I think it all comes down to impact. And at the end of the day, leadership that's what it is. It's impact and how you can inspire others to see themselves and their potential, or how you can inspire a company with the possibilities of like they can get to where they're going with the right people. Um,
Mhm.
it's just, I think, just a mentality.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautifully said. And I wish more leaders thought like that.
Mm.
you know? So for any of the people watching this podcast, what's the best way that they can connect with you? Where can they find you online?
Hmm. Um, MichiganStaffing.com is our website.
Mhm.
Francy Lucido Coaching is on Instagram and Facebook for me, or inspiredwithfrancy.com. Uh, those are the best places to find us.
Okay. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much for your time and expertise. Really appreciate having you on the podcast. For all of our viewers and listeners, those links are actually going to be right below in the show notes. So you are one click away from connecting with Francie.
Thank you so much. Good talking with you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Nice talking with you too.